Okay, so for example 3, we're going to factor 2x squared minus 5x minus 7. So when we are factoring, we need to check for our GCF. Do we have a GCF between 2, -5, and -7? No. So if we don't have a GCF, we're going to go straight to finding A, B, and C. Our A value is 2, B is -5, C is -7. Okay, and then we need to do A times C. So that's going to be 2 times -7, which will give us -14. So that -14 tells us that we need two numbers that are going to multiply to -14, but we want them to add to our B value, which is -5. So if we find factors of -14, we could do -1 times 14. We could do 1 times -14. We could do -2 times 7 and 2 times -7. Those are all factors of -14. Now we just need to add them to see which one's going to add up to -5. Well, if we do -1 plus 14, that's going to give us 13. 1 plus -14 will give us -13. -2 plus 7, that's going to be a +5, but we want -5. So let's check 2 plus -7. That's going to give us -5. So we know that 2 and -7 are the numbers that we're looking for. So when we draw our box, remember your A term goes in the first box, C in the last box, and then our B term we're going to split up into 2x and -7x. Okay, now we need to find the sides. Now let's look between 2x squared and 2x. What do those have in common? Well, they both have a 2 and an x. So this side we know is going to be 2x. That side's 2x. What does this side need to be to give us 2x squared? Well, it would need to be x, right? Then if that side's x, what does this side need to be to give us -7x? Well, that would need to be -7. That side's -7. What does this side need to be to stay at -7? That would need to be 1. And let's double check our last side. We have 1 times 2x. Is that 2x? Yeah. So we know that our answer is x plus 1 times 2x minus 7. All right, let's look at example number 4. So for example number 4, we have -4x squared minus 8x plus 5. So when we're checking for our GCF in step 1, if you notice, our first term is negative. And remember, when we were talking about GCFs, if our first term is negative, we want to pull that negative out. So we're going to factor -1 out as our GCF. And we're going to be left with 4x squared plus 8x minus 5, right? When you divide by -1, all your signs are just going to change. So now we need to factor 4x squared plus 8x minus 5. So we've already pulled out our GCF, so we're going to look for A, B, and C. So A is 4, B is 8, and C is -5. Now when we do A times C, we're going to do 4 times -5, which will give us -20. So when we're looking for factors, we know we need something that multiplies to -20 and adds to 8, right? Our B value. So what multiplies to -20? Well, we have -1 times 20, 1 times -20. We could do -2 times 10, 2 times -10, -4 times 5, 4 times -5. Okay, so these are all factors of -20. And now we just want to figure out which one adds up to 8. So if we start adding these, -1 plus 20, that's going to be 19. 1 plus -20 is -19. -2 plus 10, well, that's going to be 8. So we know that that's the one that we're looking for, since it multiplies to negative 20 and adds up to 8. So let's draw our box. Our A term goes in the first box, C in the last box, and then we're going to split B up to be negative 2x and 10x, right, from those two numbers that we found. And now we just need to find our side lengths. So if we look between 4x squared and 10x, what do those have in common? Well, they both have a 2x, right? 2 can go into 4 and 10, and they both have x's. And if that side's 2x, what does this top side need to be to get 4x squared? Well, it would need to be 2x as well. And if that side's 2x, what does this side need to be to get negative 2x? That would need to be negative 1. If that side's negative 1, what does this side need to be to get negative 5? It would need to be 5. And let's double check our last box. We have 5 times 2x. Is that 10x? Yeah, it is. So we know our sides are going to be 2x minus 1 and 2x plus 5. All right, so now I want you guys to try some of these monitoring progress questions. Try numbers 1, 4, and 6. And we're not going to do this last page of notes, so you can use this page to show your work for the monitoring progress.